towards the direction here. Both of these teams will be fighting a lot in this game 3.
All right, 5v5 in the mid, let's go.
I mean, eventually we'll see that at the 4th minute mark, right? Fighting for control, fighting for mid push. Eventually we'll see that.
Yeah, but we'll see, right? Same thing. I think we're kind of expecting aggressive movements. So the first thing I think both junglers have to watch out for is this initial taskbar camp, right? Is it going to be an invade? We've seen Haku do that multiple times. Same from Rock, or do they go on the defensive instead?
There might be a very funny moment where both junglers just counter each other's taskbar camp. Like, oh, I'll take yours, you'll take mine. We do a handshake and we go back to our lives in the jungle.
Yeah, no need to take too much risk. We will leave your Crimson Buffs alone. And it looks like that's going to be the case for now. No, it's going to be the exact opposite. Both junglers will protect their own taskbar camps. And that will be the start of a very clean Crimson Buff take for both sides.
It's a gentleman's agreement, right? And we see in the early game, VP did swap early in towards the mid lane here. Way better wave clear compared to the other side, which allows them to immediately rotate towards this top side to get some value in terms of resources.
Okay, I like this rotation coming in. And oh no, Tigo forced to use a frenzy. Needs a little bit more safety at this point. So both farm laners taking a huge bunch of damage. Now this is going to allow them to slow the pace down, and they need help, right, for this camp. So both teams, even Stevens for now.
Even Stevens and Siri, I would dare to say that was a very daring play coming in from the Chicha, finding the binding arrow on towards T-Gold and getting so much value in. Trading T-Gold's frenzy already at the start of the game, this makes the early not as strong in laning phase as we do imagine.
But they got the space pride, right? So I think that was a decent trade. Right now, if they get the stop though, this could be first blood. T-Gold, what are you doing? This is such a dangerous position. They can't find a finish. He actually uses the parasol to get out. Namu unable to finish the job. They want something else though. She wants to go in for more. One more flash does it. First blood goes into the hands of Namu, and Nongshim once again. The dream star for them. T-Gold will use the Maple Dance to block out the damage from the side of VP, but the damage has already been done.
Namu and also Siri is so consistent in pressuring this player. And look at the player coming in from the enemy team. They're just going for it. They're getting another kill onto his clue.
Yep, and with that, they will make it out safely as well. The turret damage does not even fall onto the members of Nongshim because there was still a minion in range. And this means they get a steal as well from the taskbars. They didn't get to steal it at the start, but they still have done it.
That was such a mechanically well-played play by the side of Nongshim RedForce. Siri, 1v3, pulls himself out. Namu finding the finishing blow on towards 90 with the flash spell to knock up here. Beautifully played by the side of Nongshim RedForce here. But without flash, Namu might be in danger.
They can turn it around, right? Siri knows he has to give his life there. Even with the board, it's not going to be enough. So VP recovered some form of farm by shutting down Siri in the top side of the map. Now it's all about T-Gold here. This one-on-one against Rattel. Is he going to be able to survive? Rattel looks like he will not get the better of T-Gold at the moment.
Yeah, T-Gold does play the mind games really well, baiting out the spell 2 and enhance 1 to make sure that Rattel doesn't flank him as well. So that's a mitigated play coming in from Rattel on that Guan Yu here. But 4 minute is what I want to be seeing here. Since VP is down in terms of gold, do they still go for the early game aggression? Because their composition is so early game centric. If they fail the early game parts, it's so hard for them to actually take control in the mid game.
You know what? You kind of surprised me there. I thought this was past 4 minutes already. I mean, the way that they did the fights, it felt more like mid-game. And yes, I agree. Like, look, there's a 1,000 goalie going into the hands of Nongshim. Is this really the best idea for VP to start the contest? Isn't it better to take a T1 instead?
I feel like T1s at the 4th minute mark might be a smarter trade for the side of Virtus Pro. Right now, I don't think they have any ounce of ability to be able to contest for these 4th minute objectives here, unless Hailan gets a beautiful engage on towards Haku. But Haku, take a look at the damage that he's dealing on towards Hailan.
Damn, what's his build? Did he went for the full damage build?
Yes, he went for the 3rd grade jungle item on the red one. So right now he's packing with damage right now, and he has a very high farming efficiency on this Ogre.
Yep, at 4 minutes he's probably at the half item, right? So it's going to be the Relentless Blade, and this should be a really quick 4-minute Tyrant. And with that, why we say quick is because Nongshim now also has the ability to defend against a T1 aggression from VP. So there is very little value that VP find at this point.
Very fast map movement as well coming from Nongshim. RedForce and T-Gold getting punished towards the bottom side.
Yep, he's gonna try and make the great escape. Finds it successfully, but hang on, Rock wants to turn his entire thing around. They will be able to find Siri, get the kill. But Clue will be the consolation prize for sure, right? And it is gonna be the case. So it's gonna be a 1-for-1, but I think this is very much in the benefit for VP.
Feels like I've seen this before. The exact same thing happening. Nongshim jumping on towards the enemy and then sacrificing Siri in that play here. And towards this Azure Golem, it goes freely and easily in towards the pockets of Nongshim's jungler here. But mid-control, relinquished into the hands of Virtus Pro. They're going for the beeline straight into the Azure Golem.
So smart, right, that movement. But here, the stop comes in from well. They do get the smite down, but Rock has been caught. The Raging Seas finally landed. Namu will get that nice knockup, but unable to find the finish with that. Overlord does help the team for a little bit with the knockup, but VP survive and get away.
Buff for buff, very good trade thus far coming in for both of these squads here. Like I mentioned to you, it's gonna be a bloody game. And so far, tons of aggression has been happening compared to Game 1 and Game 2, especially in this early game here. Fortunately for VP, they still have a marksman. Arlie is a marksman compared to a Chicha. Chicha is considered as a fighter, although she looks like a marksman.
Okay, looks can be deceiving, of course.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, Siri is doing the damage, right? So Siri did get the T1 as a trade on the bottom side. And this is actually the first turret of the game. Interesting.
And I noticed a fact as well. The fire beacon that was the bottom lane, that
was not taken, right?
Was not taken for majority of 6 minutes. What's going on?
I mean, everyone wants to fight, right? We have to limber up the limbs at this point, make sure everyone is in fighting shape. And for now, it looks like the lead that they have on the side of Nongshim is going to be maintained. They're still 1,000 gold ahead.
1,000 gold ahead, and this could be an opportunity for Virtus Pro to find a potential engage in the jungle here. For both teams playing towards their strength, just casually kiting out with their positioning here.
Red team.
Yeah, they want to force this movement on the side of VP. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do so. So VP actually get a freebie from Rock in the T1 at the bottom. Haku looking for a couple of free shots onto the different members on the side of VP at the moment.
And I would like to point out one thing as well, Ken. If we look based on draft, Nongshim's draft has a lot of enablers coming in from Roll and also Clash Lane. But if you look at the VP side, who's engaged?
No way! Illusion immediately takes out the life of Hailang. It's going to be a good trade so far if they can get the kill. But Haku, he has been caught. No man's land 4v1. Did not even get the final strike of his ultimate as well. VP, fine gold here.
Risk and reward. Haku, you do a lot of damage, but you're pretty squishy with that build here, so he gets entirely eliminated in that team fight before he can actually get his ultimate to get that extra healing here. But back to the point. Like we see Nongshim's lineup, Rattel and Namu is the key playmakers here for VP. It's only on 90 on whether or not he can get that Flash Storm Strike in, so that's a lot of pressure on towards 90 in this game tree.
Yeah, that's right. And as the game goes later, Rock is not going to be as strong as we would hope for him to be, right? He should be easy to take down from the side of Seaweed.
I think he also went for the Blazing Cape build to increase his chances of survival here.
Yeah,
so we'll have to see how he plays these team fights. And for the side of Haku, let's check out the items here. Dragon Rage for both Rattel and also Haku. For the side of Rock, he's completed 2 items, and that's like, what, 2,000 over his jungle opponent.
Yep. That's insane. That's a lot of advantage. But here comes the freeze as well. Haku, he wants to look for the finish of the T-Gold. Unable to find it, but Rattel will. And with that, they get the big win. They just have to survive the rest of this fight. There is going to be a chase down happening. Rock is not safe. Here comes the cavalry, and it is going to be Rattel once again, the hero for the side of Nongshim. They get the kill, and with that, there is no punishment just yet. Rattel will have to give it, but it's a 2-for-1. As long as nobody else falls on the side of Nongshim, they win.
T-Gold, what are you doing, man? You went in as an early and got absolutely shattered with 90% of your health bar, and then Rattel comes in, picks up a quick kill, and finds the flank angle on towards Rock, who is overextending on towards Siri in the tower here. And with that shutdown, this is not looking good for the side of Virtus Pro here. You need the early to consistently be getting farmed. Get that Daybreaker at the 10th-minute mark.
Yeah, they definitely need to buy space for him, right? And so far, 90 is trying to do that. He's trying to give vision so that they can make more informed choices. But this is also a risk by itself because 90 is alone.
90, this game, he's been really consistent on the Byron, but the problem right now is plays hasn't been started or initiated by him. It's all reactive plays. Either T-Gold drops or Rock jumps in to get the kill. It's never starting with 90.
I mean, that's why Illusion is such a great pick, right? Because on the Yixing, they can force him into very uncomfortable positions, which is why VP, they don't want to make the initiation. Who knows where Illusion is hiding? And if you get caught as a group, yeah, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, game over. Like, Namu gets the Raging Sea, Ratel gets like an insane flank with the Razor Cavalry. So, drafting-wise, Nongshim has so much enabling tools. Towards the top side, though, we see a 1v1 between Siri and also Rock here.
Yeah, this one is going to be a fun fight here. Siri will be able to try and outlast the damage against Rock, but here comes the support, Ratel. He knows someone else is coming from the side of VP. And this is the 10-minute mark. A bad time to lose the fight. They get a knock-up onto Haku. Haku needs to make sure that he's safe. Ratel from the backlines as well. Razor Cavalry forcing the heals coming out from Clue. They will have to disengage for the time being. Tigo looking for some free hits. And for now, it's going to be even. VP, they need to stay safe.
Those are big cooldowns that's being committed by Sam Nongshim RedForce here. Check out the status bar. Only Haku has his ultimate prior to this objective here. You can say so for VP as well, but VP's ultimate are very low risk here. But Rock, what are you doing here, buddy? You're all alone between your teammates and he gets sniped down by Siri.
That's a huge start for the side of Nongshim. This is going to be great because at the 10-minute mark, you want to get the Shadow variants on your side. Clue is going to try and get the stuns in. Does get a 2-man stun. Illusion has to run for his life. Pretty sure he does have his passive. So this means Nongshim, they can play a little bit more risky. They want to get a smite. There is no Rock. There is no 50-50. They just have to get the stun. Haku finishes the job. And right now, VP, they're trying to outlast the battle. They do get Namu down. That's going to be a passive. They don't have the defenses. Illusion gets the damage in, allowing Haku to finish the fight. He does have his second skill as well. He gets the heal and will finish off with the execute. That's 4 kills for the price of 2 for the side of Nongshim.
Add on to us that they also got the Shadow objective here. So Thailand, T-Gold 90. There's just no consistent DPS in taking down Haku on this full damage augur here. He's been on a roll thus far with this pick.
Yep, Haku he's so good at walking on this tightrope between life and death, right? Every single time it feels like, okay, Haku has gone a little bit too far, he's able to make it out. And this is thanks to the team, like teammate members like Ratel, Namu, who have been helping him to set up the stuns, set up the push-aways. And this is why Nongshim are so good.
I think it also goes to your point, right? I remember Holler always says like, hey, Haku always overextends, but this is the risk and reward. You play aggressive, you get awarded for playing aggressive, but of course you get punished as well. But this time around, he got rewarded fruitfully for that aggression.
Yep, he did. And the T1 is the next objective they take in the middle part. So Nongshim, slowly but surely, they're kind of putting a little bit more map control here. And the Gorge looks a little more blue.
Yeah, more towers in favor of Nongshim RedForce, and they are in prime control. But take a look at gold lead wise. It's only a 1.6k gold lead in favor of Nongshim RedForce, so it's not as far apart compared to the previous game 1 and game 2.
I mean, at this point, it's really about the class genius, right? If 90 gets a good stun, that could set up the entire team fight. At the same time, if Ratel gets the flank from the sidelines, VP are done.
And take a look at the gold chart here. If you're an early, it's not the greatest of the news that you're sitting at the bottom of the gold chart here. You need a lot of gold to start commanding fights in the mid game here. So for the side of T-Gold, he has a lot of catching up to do in this game.
A lot, and it's not going to be made easy by the side of Nongshim as well, right? Haku is already putting pressure onto this Shadow Overlord. This is not an objective you want to lose at this point. And you can see what the game plan is here, right? They're going to drag the fight and see what they can do with the minions as well. Not going to be able to get the knockup. Namu made a mistake, a rare one. This might cost him. And right now, VP smell blood. They want to go in 90 with the stuns as well. Huge setup. Where is the finish though? Nobody on the side of VP is joining the fight. Clue needs to step back. And right now, they missed that chance. Nongshim get to reset.
It was the Raging Sea coming in from Namu to disengage the backline with the knockup here. And the moment that 90 flashes in for the knockup, Namu perfectly placed the Raging Sea in isolating the entire team here. But Rock, what are you doing here? This is a repeat of the bottom lane here. But fortunately, Siri has no ultimate to follow up on that play against Rock.
Yep, this is dangerous though. Illusion has eyes on to T-Gold. T-Gold, if he makes the mistake of getting caught here on the board, this could cost them. We hear the board setup. They want to get it. Illusion staying patient. They get T-Gold. They want him now. When can they reach him? Right now, but the pushback. Nice play on the backlines. Nobody's able to touch T-Gold. They have made the punish. Illusion is down. Haku is down. And Siri, maybe the next one to fall. Namu will fall as well. And VP, this is the one chance they've been waiting for. And they are going to be rewarded.
Over-aggression coming in forward side of Nongshim RedForce here. Although they do catch Teagle with the wall as my board, but Siri wasn't there, Rattel wasn't there. It was only Haku, Illusion, Namu as a trio. You don't have damage as this trio here, so there's no finishing blow on towards Teagle in that play. Right now, goalie swung back into VP's favor. Shadow Overlord secured in their pockets here. They're looking to do insane amount of structural damage.
Yeah, they definitely can do so at this point. This is going to be a minion wave in the middle lane. T3 should be guaranteed in the middle for VP. And Nongshim can only stand by and watch. Siri needs to be really careful here. He cannot afford to lose his life at this point. Body to be dropped down. They have caught two different members, but the heals are coming in. They need to finish the job. The knockup is enough. Siri is down. VP, they baked them in. They finish the job. Haku is out of the battle as well. Frigid Charge is going to do little to stop VP from finding the opening. T3 at the bottom is going to be destroyed in seconds as well. VP looking so good.
VP is making a comeback after that dire Game 1 and Game 2. And right now, they finished up the Crystal, gaining 1 point in the series. You do not count out Virtus Pro in a BO5.